Okay, so we're starting Unit 3, and Unit 3 is all about chemical formulas and naming compounds. So in the Google Classroom, you're going to find worksheets that you're going to be completing that are all about writing chemical formulas and naming these different compounds. So today what I want to do is I just want to talk a little bit about what a chemical formula is, why we have chemical formulas, what the purpose of them would be, and then what do they actually mean when we look at them. As we progress through this unit, you're going to learn how to write these chemical formulas, and you're going to learn how to name these chemical formulas based on what's part of the chemical formula. But today we just want to talk about what this is, what this means, why we use this. So a chemical formula is just basically a shortened form of a particular molecule or compound that we're dealing with. So when I look at this H2O, this is the chemical formula for water. Now, when I tell somebody water, most individuals are going to know that water is H2O. However, some people may not know that water is H2O. By writing the chemical formula, it tells the reader or the individual who's working with it what exactly is in water. So water is made up of two elements. It's made up of hydrogen and it's made up of oxygen. But what's very important about water is how many of each that you find. This little 2 that you see here, this is called a subscript. A subscript is something that we use throughout writing chemical formulas to tell us how many of that particular element are there, how many atoms of that element would be present. So that 2 goes directly to the element in front of it. So when I look at H2O, that tells me that there are 2 hydrogens. Now behind oxygen, there isn't a subscript written there. However, there is an understood 1. So H2O tells me that there are 2 hydrogens and there is 1 oxygen that makes up a molecule of water. So this is sodium chloride. Now, some of you may know what sodium chloride is. It's actually table salt. This is what you put on your food whenever you want it to be a little saltier. You add sodium chloride to it. Now, if you didn't know the formula for sodium chloride, but someone had written it out, you could tell them exactly what was in that compound. So in this compound, we have 1 sodium. We also have 1 chlorine, okay? Over here, this is sulfuric acid, okay? And sulfuric acid has a few more things. It doesn't have just 2 elements, it has 3. It has hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. And it also has a few of some of these. So let's look right here. That 2 means it has 2 hydrogens. The sulfur has an understood 1, so it's 1 sulfur. And then this 4 means that it has 4 oxygens, okay? So 2 hydrogens, 1 sulfur, 4 oxygen, a total of 7 atoms that make up a molecule of sulfuric acid. So let's look at this one down here. There's sulfate again, SO4, one of your polyatomic ions. But now we've got these parentheses here. So let's start by looking at this. This is aluminum sulfate is what this compound is called, aluminum sulfate. So aluminum right here, it tells us that we have 2 aluminum. And then right here, the SO4 is in parentheses. Now I want you to use the same principles that you use in math class. This 3 means that there are 3 sulfates. So it would be like SO4, 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 and you could add all those up. Or you could just distribute. This 3 means 3 sulfurs. And then the 3 multiplied by the 4 would be 12 oxygens. So you can see that this one has several atoms within a molecule of aluminum sulfate. So what I want you to do after you finish this video is I want you to first do a little research around your home. You can use your Chromebook or your phone or whatever it is that you use, your device. I want you to do a little research and see if you can figure out what these elements, the real name for them, which chemical compound they match up with, okay? Some of these are just common chemicals that you have in your house. So do a little research, and I want you to work on that. And then I want you to work on this. And we've been doing this right now. Like, for instance, NaCl, 1 sodium, 1 chlorine. So there's 2 atoms right there. We just did this one, H2SO4. So 2 hydrogens, 1 sulfur, 4 oxygens, for a total of 7 atoms in that molecule. So I want you to go through, let's look at this one right here. 1 potassium, 1 nitrogen, so that's 2, and 3 oxygens, so 2 plus 3 would be 5 atoms, okay? So I want you to go through and I want you to complete this page as you kind of just play around with chemical formulas and learn a little more about them. Now, our next discussion, our next lecture will be on writing binary compounds, and I cannot stress to you enough, you absolutely must know your ions. So if you're still a little behind and you haven't quite memorized all of your ions, after you finish those 2 worksheets, I would definitely pick up my ion flashcards and I would practice going through them, making sure I understand and know those ions. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.